What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Third and Longhorn. And should I say another season of Third and Longhorn? Yeah. We did it 3 seasons, guys. We did it. We've come a long way. Well, I mean, good thing the season's going to start off kind of slow and we don't have a ton to do, you know, so it's good. We can just kind of ease into this season. I kid, but we've also got another member of the team today, and please welcome Mark Higgins.
I've been pulled out of the shadows. I've resisted it, and Nick made me do it. So, fans, just tell me I'm terrible so I can go back to the shadows.
I got forced to do it. You're going to get forced to do it, too. So
Higgs, I'm so glad you're here so that we can actually add, like, some fact-checking to the stuff that these generally saying.
We do need him to have, like, transcribed notes of every episode so he can just search and be like, no, Nick had 10 points in the first quarter or whatever. He can fact check everything we do.
Exactly.
But for those of you that haven't watched the show, please meet Jeremy Hills, Fozzie Whitaker, Rob Babers, Derek Johnson, Alex Okafor. I'm Nick Shuley, and let's just get right into it, guys. We're opening up with a big one. The biggest, I mean, possibly the biggest game of the year and the first game of the year. Pretty exciting. Yeah. Obviously referring to number 1 Texas versus number 3 Ohio State, or number 1 versus number 2, whatever you decide to believe. All right, so I'm going to kick it to you guys. Just give me your quick thoughts, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the offenses and the defense. Hills, let's go. Keep it brief.
As brief as possible. as brief as possible. The last 2 years we've opened up on the road against formidable opponents. Yeah. Like Alabama, I think that's week 2 though, if I remember right.
Yeah,
both of them week 2. But warm-up games.
Early.
All right, the warm-up games in week 1, then we got right to it, right? So we got Alabama 2 years ago. We went down there and we handled that. We ended that game in the most beautiful, I almost cried. We ended that game up 2 scores with the ball in our hand and telling them, we're going to let y'all go home from here. That was beautiful. Then we went on the road to the defending national championship, and we smacked them in the big house. Yep. We got another opportunity for Sark and his group to prove that if you give that man months to prepare for an opponent with a healthy squad, he can go anywhere on God's green earth and win a football game. Yeah, that's what I think we get on August 30th.
Yeah, top 3 matchup. Obviously one of the most hype matchup in the past probably 10, 15 years for it being week 1 out the gate. 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon kickoff. Excited to see what happens. First time that the number one team, is an underdog. And I think Coach Sark probably can use some of that fuel to the fire. Obviously, not much fuel is needed to get up for a game like this, but just another way to continue to find some internal motivation for that team.
Yeah, I agree with Jay Hills. I mean, something about Sark and these big-time, non-conference matchups, he looks forward to them. I think he understands that the positive, kind of avalanche that you could get of momentum for your program and recruiting and everything else when you win those big games, you really can't quantify it. Beating an Alabama on the road, beating a Michigan on the road, hell, even going back to the first year, at home, Texas, that second year almost beat Alabama.
Man, that
really
safety
close.
wasn't no safety. But
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That wasn't safety.
That safety, they didn't give us the say. It called roughing the passer, but we'll let that.
Trust me, I'm with you. So I think it's not
let
just
it go.
Sark's a great coach on the road, as you've talked about that, Nick, but also great in these big time early season matchups, and I think he'll have his team ready to play. I'm almost a little anxious of how overconfident I am in Texas going into this game versus Ohio State.
Yeah. I feel the same way, Rod. I'm a little superstitious. We all are superstitious, but for good reason. Potentially, we can do a lot this year. I just, first game of the year. It's not about really scheme wise. You just kind of have to do simple better, right? Blocking better than the other team. Tackling better than the other team. That's how you really win at the end of the day. When you get later during the season, you can get into scheming and schematics and all that stuff. But the first game of the year, blocking and tackling, doing simple better. I think we should do that.
Yeah, for me, I just want to point out how big of a treat this is for the fans. Like, when you look at these two teams, they're so similar that it's almost scary. First, they played each other in the playoffs last year. And going into that game, everybody knew the winner of that game was probably going to go on and win a national championship. Then we look at this season, both losing their starting quarterback to the NFL, both losing a first-round offensive lineman, both losing a second-round defensive lineman, both losing a first-round wide receiver. Like, these teams mirror each other so well that it's crazy. So, more than anything, I'm going to be a fan this upcoming Saturday and enjoy this game.
Yeah. I mean, this is what a great way to kick it off. I mean, I like the fact that I think the committees, et cetera, will reward these teams for playing this game, right? And especially playing it this early. It almost feels, in a weird way, like we got nothing to lose in this one. And I know that sounds weird to say because it's a long season, but I think I don't think people are going to get penalized for playing this game. You hope.
And they better not get penalized for playing this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, they should both be rewarded, honestly.
Yeah, we need more of this in college football.
Like, the only way, I mean, if this ends up being I don't know if you guys remember a couple years back, week 1 or week 2, Georgia played Oregon. I don't know if y'all remember that. If this becomes a Georgia-Oregon, then all right. But
last year was Georgia-Clemson.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, like, unless you get, like, just a complete beat down one way or the other, then like, if this is a one-score game one way or the other,
which it
should be, then I think that both teams should be rewarded for this when it comes, playoff selection time.
All right, well, let's get into it. All right, we're going to start with obviously the part we feel best about, the Texas defense versus the Ohio State offense. Who wants to take it?
Start off. You got it.
Okay. Well, let's start with the front line. Well, first of all, let's look at it from a total perspective. Texas had one of the greatest defenses we've seen this program ever have last season. How do we follow that up? We lost a ton of starters to the NFL last year, but we have tons of depth, and we're replacing these guys. For me, the biggest question mark is, what is the middle of our defensive line going to look like? Now, I feel better this year than I did last year. Last year, we lost one first rounder and one second rounder on the defensive line, and we had to replace them. Coach Kenny Baker did an excellent job in the transfer portal and developing that talent. We got everything we wanted out of Bill Norton, and we see him in the NFL making plays this past weekend. The development is there. Now heading into this season, we got 3 guys out the portal, and by the way, man, we're batting 1,000 out the portal. So that makes me feel better. But we got 3 guys coming in from the portal. We got Travis Shaw, we got Cole Brevard, and we got Murad Watson. I hope I pronounced all their names correctly. Regardless, we'll find out on Sunday. But it sounds like Brevard's going to get the first swing at this thing as starter, and we'll see what he looks like. And the other guys will be depth pieces. But can we solidify our rushing attack with Ohio? Can we solidify our rush defense with Ohio State starting a freshman quarterback? They're not going to just stand. They're not going to let him drop back and throw the ball 40 times. They're not. They're going to try to establish the rushing attack. So for us, what is the middle of our defensive line going to be? Can we have an effective rush defense? And that will be the first thing that I'm looking for this upcoming Saturday.
Oak's a wise man. I think that's a huge part of it. Texas, the last couple of years, has been one of the best teams in college football at stopping the run with a light box. Light box basically means you got fewer defenders and they have blockers.
That's a big deal, by the way.
Yeah, right? When you got a T. Sweat, when you got a Byron Murphy, when Alfred Collins, Vernon Bryant, when you stockpile guys like that and you're rotating them, hey, man, you know what? He demands a double team. Right? So you flip the numbers advantage. Now, that's the key, because when you're going up against the best wide receiving core in college football, and that's what Ohio State is. They got the best wide receiver in college football.
Best offensive player.
Best offensive player in college football, and that wide receiver room is deep. I mean, they got third, fourth string guys. They're the 5 stars ready to roll.
That's wide receiver you. It is wide receiver.
They got Chris Henry Jr. on the way. Y'all seen him last
year. Oh yeah, he's gonna be a beast. But last year, what they did, I mean, a lot of people thought, did they just bracket Jeremiah Smith? No, I went back and watched the game again, and they did a great job. They put a lot of 2 high shell coverage, just 2 deep safeties, and the secondary played so well, played with such great technique that they never let him necessarily get on top of the defense at all. And I think they'll do that again. So they were probably about close to 60%, 2 high shell coverages last year. But what does that mean? It means you're going to probably have a balanced box, an even box, or you're going to have a light box to try to win the run. Now, think about it. Quinshon Judkins and Trevion Henderson last year both averaged over 5 yards per carry. Not both, but when you combine them together, they were averaging over 5 yards per carry. But the beauty of it is Texas kept them in long situations, second and long, third and long situations, and were able to get them in some favorable matchups. But they did a great job of just keeping an umbrella over the defense. In order to do that, you got to be able to win against the run with a lighter box. And I wonder, to your point, Murad Watson, Alex January, Cole Brevard, those guys they brought in, Travis Shaw, that's going to be their challenge. And what is the strength of the Ohio State offensive line?
The middle.
Bring it back.
Rod, let me ask you, what happens if you can win with a light box on defense? How can you then disguise your looks on the back end if you can have those DBs stay just in position and deep?
Yeah, well, it's ideal to win in a light box. If you can do that, do that. A lot of people can't do that. We have that luxury in doing that. It does give you an opportunity to mix some things up and disguise some things in the back end, but then not be too aggressive where you gotta, be up in the box. When you're in the box, you're just susceptible for some stuff back in the back end. We don't want to do that.
What's the box? What are we even talking about?
The box is that 5 to 10 yard radius of D line and linebackers. That's that box. When you're in there, it's hard to play pass back there to have anything.
Drops.
Yeah, get your drops. Yeah, and Jeremiah Smith, did well last year with him, but you got to have that same type of. I'm sure they looked at the film and whatnot and see what we did with him, but being able to sprinkle some stuff in there, do not let him beat you. Let the other guys beat you, but we have enough guys on this defense to be great again. I can't say enough about Anthony Hill and what he brings to the table in the middle of the defense. I really picture him as kind of like myself. When you're there, when other guys are by you, you raise the level of their play. Like Leonga, he plays better when he's with Anthony Hill. When I was playing, believe it or not, Reed Boyd made more tackles than me one time. Yeah. He had for the season, and I never said this before, but he was like, and we're talking Reed Boyd. He's pretty good player, scrappy guy. But he had 130, I had 125 or something like that.
That's the exact number.
Higgs, pull it up, Higgs. Pull that up.
He had 131 and a half. I had 125 or something like that.
But check this out. They probably are accurate, but the next year when it comes to Aaron Harris, right next to me, you with a big dog, you play like a big dog. That's just how it is, especially on the back end when you talk about Taft and those guys. Man, when you have a coach on the back end as a player, as a safety. When I first got here, Ma Brooks, big time leader on the back end. Yeah. Rod can speak to this. When you have coaching type of players I'm talking about not cornerback, but safeties, they help out everything. Michael Huff, Michael Griffin, Philip Giger, Takari Pearson. These guys.
Blake Gideon was one.
Yeah, Blake Gideon. Yeah. They run all that stuff back there, man.
Yeah. They can erase a lot of mistakes.
There you go.
A lot of potential mistakes. Even I would say that the coaches have said that too. Pete Kukowski said that about Michael Taft. That he covers our tracks a lot of the times when we potentially have guys out of position.
Yeah.
And what DJ is speaking on is the testament of a true leader. To me, this one single biggest quality of a leader is how do you affect the people around you? How do you get the most out of the people around you? And what that tells me is Ant Hill, he's that type of player, he's that type of leader. Going back to Jay Hill's question about what is a light box or how stopping the run with the light box, how does that benefit a defense? For me, it allows us to be quicker in terms of adjusting to the coverage in a play action pass situation. You get to your drops a lot quicker when you have a light box. When you have a heavy box and the quarterback flashes at football, everybody is sucking in, honing in on that running game. But when you can stop the run with a light box, man, these backers are getting to their drops quicker. You can hold your disguises better, all that great stuff. For me, last thing I'll say, and I'll pass it to these offensive guys, I think we have the best pass rush in the country, at least from an edge perspective. The key for this defense, our defense, we have to get Ohio State in 3rd and long.
Yes.
That's what it's going to come down to. If it's a game where they're getting 5 yards a pop on the first down, it's going to be a long game for us. But when we can get them into 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, I think that's where we have the advantage, and that's where we can take advantage of this Ohio State offense.
Sorry to interrupt you. Do you foresee us blitzing and coming after him harder because of a young quarterback and because of the strength of our pass rush to set up those longer distance 2nd and 3rd downs?
I don't know. As a D, and that's a question for the coordinator, but from the mindset of a defensive lineman, just let us go eat. When we know we can win one-on-one, we don't need to bring extra pressure. put 4 guys down
It's
and let us go
predictable.
win.
Right.
Let us go win.
Hey, that's
Especially with
that's
the new left tackle.
D-line talk.
I know where. Yeah, that's where
but
because it
He
takes
just
away.
don't want nobody else rushing.
He's like, I need to make my
fine.
hay.
What it is don't make me stunt into the B gap so DJ can come through.
No, it's so true.
Giving your sack to Ant, right? Here's where to go hand in hand with that and what you talked about to a certain degree on third down. If you can get them in third and long, which is the ultimate goal, then yeah, for Texas, they don't need to necessarily add additional pressure. You can change up the formation of the defense. You can go NASCAR package and still rush 4, but your 4 are going to be true rushers that can beat whoever is across from them. Yeah. But more on first and second down is where you may see those blitz opportunities to ensure that third and long happens. And it may be a disguised corner blitz. It may be even the safety showing cover 3 as if he's walking down to fly into the flats, and then all of a sudden he inserts in very quickly. And I think that's where, from the offensive perspective, whenever you get into a position where a light box handles the run, that frustrates the offensive coordinator to the utmost degree because now your playbook goes from here to here. And whenever you get to here and you got to get in those second and third and long situations, only thing you really can run is a screen because you don't have time to sit back. And then with the disguise that Texas has, Michael Taft back there, and then the time that you're going to have with Colin Simmons and Ethan Burke and Ant Hill Jr. and Trey Moore breathing down your neck, that offense coordinator don't want to put Julian Sand in that type of position. Right. So he's going to try to protect them as much as possible, run a draw, run a screen, something that's safe, but to protect the football because strip sacks, turnovers, week 1 is going to be critical and imperative for whichever team wants to win.
And you don't want to quiet that crowd.
You want that to be your
State. They want them to be on the side at 12th man for them. But
so do you foresee Ohio State simplifying things as much as possible for Sand to kind of just keep it as plain as possible?
They have to.
But on the other side, we have Kwiatkowski's going to be giving him a massive
very
score,
complex.
Right?
He can be
This team's been there, so that kid's
I wouldn't say simplified. Now, Brian Hartline is first time calling, but it's not the first time that he's been in this offense. Right. He obviously knows his receivers the best. Yep. So he's going to find a way to get Jeremiah Smith the football. Now, you just can't let it be 30 yards downfield, right? You go get 4 or 5 yards. That's fine. 2 people come in, tackle well. What DJ talk about doing simple, great. You got to tackle them. So keep it in front. But at the same time, Brian Hartline, it's going to be a learning curve for him being the full-time caller. It's still Ryan Day's offense. Don't get it wrong. Yeah. Ryan Day still knows what's happening. He got final say-so. He's been extremely productive as an offensive coordinator and as the head coach there. But at the same time, there are some nuances that come apart whenever you lose a guy like Chip Kelly, who we regard as one of the best offensive minds in football. So there's going to be a little bit of dissension between what we saw last year versus this year. But they still will have an intricate game plan. You have to make the offensive coordinator simplified. Yeah. But going into it, they're going to have everything, but they'll have to change it if Texas can put them into situations where they're third and long without having to bring extra help and playing it with the light box.
One thing that everybody has mentioned that I 100% agree with, but I don't think that we took the time to give it what it deserves, and that is stopping the run. Yeah. But like what people don't understand is like, why is it so important to stop the run? Oh. And like just like walk with me for a second. Like if you can stop the run with a light box, meaning I can keep 2 safeties back. That means there is no weak side of the field. I am shelled over everything that you want to do. And by stopping the run, my linebacker does not believe in your play action. Like, I don't believe that. I don't. We've been able. I can play. I can slow play that run that I see, and then if I don't believe it, and I am athletic like the linebackers we have, and I can get back in the depth into my drop or find my responsibility. It closes the pass window. Mm-hmm. So think about what a quarterback sees. Okay. Just think about. Think about what a quarterback sees. Quarterback turns his back to the defense. He flashes this ball, hoping to trick them. Yep. And when he turns back around, he's going through the reads based on the play that was called. Mm-hmm. But if those backers are now deep and those safeties are over the top and those athletic corners are just within striking range of where coverage is on that wide receiver, it takes a perfect pass to not become the defensive ball. So what we're going to say is, if the importance of stopping the run means this freshman quarterback needs to be perfect at this point. Because if he isn't, this is a stagnant offense that goes nowhere. And now what does that do? That means that offense ain't on the field long. That means that defense is on the field long. And what happens from there? Defense gets worn down because they've been on the field all game. And then all of a sudden this game starts to get away from you. That's how it all ties together. So the it's pivotal to stop the run. It is the domino that impacts everything else.
And Ohio State is saying that too. They're like, hey guys, we got to run the ball with this young quarterback. We got to keep our crowd into it. Like we can't have negative plays. That all that stuff kills you.
Yeah, no, a rush defense is the foundation to me of an entire team.
100%.
If a team doesn't have a rush defense, not only does it affect the defensive side of the ball, it affects the offensive side of the ball as well. So that is the foundation for this team. And if we want to build this team the right way, we have to establish that from week one.
Yeah, you want money down has to be, to your point about third and long. I'll give you a real great stat about the NASCAR package. Texas only use their NASCAR package usually on third and long stretches, third and 7+ yards to gain. They only played it a little on like 17% of the time, right, on defense. It accounted for 41% of their sacks. And that NASCAR package. So if you get to that money down, you get to third and long, and then you can unleash the hounds. Put Moore out there, put Simmons out there, Ethan Burke, bump him inside, then put Ben, whatever you want to do. I mean, you put so many great guys out there. Brad Spence is another pass rusher. You can just throw out your great pass rushers and coverage specialists, which they have in that NASCAR package. So it is pivotal to win that early down, that first down, that pivotal rundown, so that you can get to the third and long. Texas gets the third and long, and if they can keep Ohio State in third and long, they'll win this game and they'll win it comfortably.
Rod, I'm very interested because I know you got every stat under the sun, but I'm very interested to know, on that same token, how many first downs has Texas defense given up on 3rd and 7 or longer? And the reason I'm interested to know that is because Rod,
I don't even know if Hicks can get that in time.
I have the stat, I just don't have it with me.
Yes, man. He won't let me know. No, I got that. But I'm saying, like, think about what that stat means. The stat basically says, like, why is the numbers important? If they're in 3rd and 7 or longer, it's damn near a coin flip if it's a sack, and then if it's not a sack, then what?
The chances of conversion.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's either a sack or our ball. How? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm thinking about this. So I'm saying that then it comes right back down to what we know, guys. Win first down.
That's the key to the game. Right there. You can stop right there.
Right.
Win first down.
Can we, before we flip the switch, did you pull up the DJ stats on the tackles? Since we talking about stats.
You want totals?
Before we can come back to that.
Come back to that.
Before we switch sides, you got any good stats for us, Higgs? Anything we should know? Now that you got the
Yeah, so I don't have that stat right in front of me, but I know with that new transfers coming in from Rice, it's going to have quite an impact playing at the shoe for the first time, so we'd be on the lookout for that.
That's Ethan Anianwa. I'm gonna take a stab at it. The Rice transfer at left tackle. So the first time playing in the shoe. All right. Well, let's flip it over to the other side. Actually, before we do, I'm gonna give it to Oak. Who's got the advantage in this? Ohio State's offense or Texas's defense? Who gets the edge?
I have to give it to Texas's defense under the conditions that we are carrying over the same rush defense from last year. If we carry that rush defense over, you have to give it the advantage to our defense. Like we've talked about this whole show, the fact that we can rush the passer, the fact that we got back-end guys that can cover, the fact that we got the best linebacker in the country shoring up our middle, you have to look at Texas as the advantage on the defensive side of the football. What do you think, guys?
I love that stat that was thrown out there early this week. First-year starting quarterbacks versus the number one first-year start versus the number one team in the country. I believe they're 0-18 in the last 20 years. So Julian saying versus this defense, I don't like those odds.
That's fair. All right, well, let's flip it over to the Texas offense versus the Ohio State defense. And I think I find this to be really fascinating because I don't totally know what to expect, but I got some thoughts on it. But let's go to Fozzie first. Fozzie, what do you got? Give me your overall thoughts on this.
I think overall, this is where Texas fans have concern up the middle. Same way AO talked about what that interior of the defensive line will look like. It's the same way with the offensive line. And for me, a team has to be formed from the trenches on out. And Sark has said it, Kyle Flood, Kenny Baker, Pete Kwiatkowski, they all know the importance of having the foundation and fundamental part of your leaders being the focal point within the trenches. So there are question marks at the offensive line from an experience standpoint, guys that have been in the system, but it's a great opportunity to showcase how well you've been coached, to showcase how fast you can put that chemistry together. And then the debut of the man, the myth, the legend, Arch Manning, right? Who are you whenever the lights shine brightest, right? Now you get an opportunity to showcase what all the talk has been around in Austin and across the country over the past 2 years, and probably none greater than this year, with the expectations of and hopes of Texas being the number one team for the first time ever in the AP and the coaches poll for preseason chances. It's going to come down to who can maintain the football, so possession, right? And then who can have the most explosive. That's what Coach Brown used to always tell us. Things that win the game. Turnovers and explosives. Whoever can win the turnover battle and create more explosives. So basically any play, let's say 12 yards or more, if you have more of those, you typically give yourself literally, it was like a 97% chance to win if you win both of those things. So that's what Texas has to do, and taking care of the football is going to be the number one priority going into such a hostile environment in the shoe.
I think this matchup of the offense versus Ohio State's defense is so fascinating because of what you just said. We're a little inexperienced at offensive line. I think we have more experience than people give us credit for with all the games that Cole Hudson's played and Gooseby got in, et cetera. So I think we have more experience than people think. I mean, DJ's the one rock on that. But also, the fascinating part is the part that Ohio State's worried about. They're worried about their defensive line, and they're worried about their depth at defensive line and their ability, and just their ability to go deep into that room.
Generate a pass rush too.
And so I think that's where it gets
a lot of sacks. It was like 30 sacks last year.
So if we can run the ball this game, and plus having a quarterback who can move a little bit, it's gonna be very interesting. That fascinates me, but I want to hear more from you.
I think you hit it right on the head. Like, I'm interested to see how this run, because we've seen Sark as we've known it. So we've seen Sark in the Quinn era. And respectfully, in the Quinn era, the goal was to keep our quarterback clean and safe. I think we can be a little bit more aggressive in how we use our quarterback as an additional weapon to outflank the defense. So when I start thinking about how that impacts running gaps, running holes, and everything else, I'm thinking of a guy like Wisner that we seen last year with no help from a quarterback threat of run, be able to just, I mean, what game was that? Was that Kentucky?
Kentucky.
Was that Kentucky? Oh my God!
Nice
like
slow and methodical.
it was just, and that I want to say deep in the fourth quarter on that. What was that? 11-play drive or 12-play drive? It was it was beautiful. I cried.
9 minutes.
I cried. I was watching it with opera music in the back, and I just cried. No, but I'm saying I am interested to see how the threat of run, not even just whatever Arch's in-game rushing stats look like, but the threat of run. How does that help the running backs? Right. And then if you have lack of depth on that defensive line, and I'm hoping and praying it's hot out there. I'm hoping and praying
it's supposed to be 72.
I hope it's the hottest 72 that anybody's ever been a part of.
Chamber of Commerce weather that day. Sorry, man.
My point is, like, I want that defense on the field.
Yeah.
I want that defense on the field. The running game is a mentality more than anything else. And when you start talking about the trenches, it is the time where one group takes the wheel out of the other group. Yeah. Where they you can feel it and see it, where that defensive line is just so stout and that offensive line can't work up to the second level and linebackers are flying, making plays in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage. Or that offensive line, you see it especially on TV, see it easier to TV copy. That offensive line is just moving one way. They create a new line of scrimmage, and you see a young adult. I was gonna say adult men. You see young adults on that defensive line going a direction that they don't physically want to go.
Yeah. It's one of the worst feelings.
I can only imagine.
Make a pile.
The feeling in their heart as they are going this way and they don't want to go this way. Point being, I think our running game opens up a lot.
Yeah.
And we got so many playmakers on the outside, and if we can get those one-on-one opportunities, and they got young guys on the backside too. Now they got Devin Sanchez, who I like a lot.
Yeah.
North Shore guy.
I like that. I like his game a lot. But this is game one.
Yeah.
And, we still got the guys. You know what I mean? So with us having so many weapons on the outside, I'll be interested to see how we take control of what the spirit of this game feels like through the running game. And then if the one time that edge does collapse and they do commit down to that run, I like to see Arch just pull it one time. Go grab 12, 13 yards and then see what that does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, Arch is probably saying, no, Jay, I'm going for 70 like I do. But I'm saying just go grab 12 or 13 yards and see what that does to a defense.
Yeah. Jay Hills, you got a great point when you talk about a threat of run, especially from the quarterback standpoint. Of course, we're going to run the ball or whatnot, but when you have a running quarterback, it opens up so much. Like when it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, 4th and 2, we're thinking Wildcat, right? If I'm Ohio State, I'm thinking, oh, here come that Wildcat package because they had it last year. Guess what? They don't have to do that because Arch is a dude. Arch can do it. You do it all, right? You could do it at any point. So you keep us on a guessing mentality. We're on our heels or on our toes. We don't know what to do. Arch opens up so much. I'm going to be very interested to see how the red zone offense is this year because we can run the ball in, we can scramble it in, it's a lot of different factors, but Arch at quarterback starting the whole year, our red zone offense should be
more
better.
efficient.
I mean, more efficient. That's the word. Yeah.
Better.
Better.
Both.
You got to be fast. You ain't getting fast. No, because I actually now Arch, played against some weak competition, right? UTSA, ULM, Mississippi State. But I went back and looked at the red zone, like touchdown percentage when Arch was in there, and I mean, it was crazy. I think Texas was like at 63%. When Arch goes in there, it's like at 80+%.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
I mean, just think about the Silas Bolden play. Remember, it was so creative.
That was like one of
that
his
play
first,
broke down and then
scramble drill.
Yep.
And he's great in the 3rd and longs. We were just talking about how critical 3rd and longs are. Texas converted 3rd and longs at over a 50% clip when Arch was in there, considered the competition. But I think a lot of that is him using his legs to extend plays and then make big plays. Texas hadn't had access to that since Bam Bam Sam. I think was the last one.
Yeah. That's demoralizing too for a defense. You get them in 3rd and long and they convert. And instead of that defensive line, chest bumping and going to grab the water, they lining them back down and getting the next play call.
It is.
Like that.
Especially when the conversion comes because of the QB's legs. What DJ was trying to say is right on.
You saw the paint.
You do everything right, and it's like,
it puts so much stress on the defense because of the math. Whenever you theoretically blackboard football, you have to have a free backer to make the play on the ball carrier. When your quarterback is a threat to run, that free player you plan to make the play on the ball carrier, now he's accountable for the quarterback. So that stresses the defense so much because now you have to depend on whether it's a defensive lineman or a linebacker to get off a block and make the tackle. That's stressful for a defense.
and you take somebody out the coverage, right? You got a spine guy.
So I
It's a
mean,
guy that can run
You're
20
going to lose the
miles
numbers
per
advantage
hour.
now no matter what. You're going to
Absolutely.
lose the numbers advantage in the running game because of +1 to quarterback in the running. And you're going to lose in the pass game because you better have somebody to spy him when he scrambles. The scramble in the NFL right now is averaging more yards per run than yards per pass attempt in the NFL.
Wow.
It
crazy
is
stat.
it is
That's a
currently the
crazy
best
stat.
cheat code in football, and now Sark has access to it.
Right.
We never had access to
So
it.
think about the mastermind that we've crowned, that he's earned the title of being, from a creativity and a play calling standpoint. I still remember that. I forget which game it was. Was it Florida?
Florida.
Oh my God.
I've never,
That still comes up in my feed.
I've never seen anything like that in my
We
life.
installed it on our Little League football team.
Did it work?
Respect.
Did it work?
Copycat league, baby.
It's a copycat league. It's a copycat league. I see some of Sark's stuff being run by the Chiefs right now today. It's a copycat league. But that I'm saying, is there another level to this offense and his genius that we have not seen?
Oh, yeah.
Simply because
I'm
the
reminded of Jay
idea
Locker.
was to keep the quarterback clean and safe because he's had an injury history.
Yeah.
Versus now I got a six. How tall is that boy? 6'4", 220.
Still
I
growing.
got an athlete back there that's a dude that can go grab 8, 9, 10 yards. If not 70.
But devil's advocate, are you worried about the depth at quarterback, about letting that loose, about
Absolutely.
injuries, etc.?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I gotta trust that this man has the maturity to understand how important he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get what you can, and then you do go out of bounds. You do slide. You do go down. And I'm
Because Arch likes contact. We saw that.
but
We saw it against UW. We saw it against Ohio State, and they rung his
Saying
bell.
that, I am scared to death.
But I'm
If
Arch get hurt,
I'm of course, and I bet
That's most
2000,
teams,
and I
though.
bet,
In
and I
our
bet
defense, that's most
2005,
teams.
and I bet
Yeah.
2005 felt the same way about Vince Young.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So my point is that
True.
I gotta trust that this kid understands what he means to this team.
True.
Now, and I gotta also understand that as a backup, he probably was thinking, "I got right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I got
Lay it
right
all
now.
out. Yeah.
This is all I got." Versus, if does my team need it all right now, or can I slide right here and play 2nd and 3?
Yeah.
So I gotta trust this kid, and I gotta trust that Mannings have taught him what to do in these situations, and we'll find out if I'm wrong or right. But scared is not how I'm approaching it.
No.
Arch is listed at 6'4", 219.
219,
That's 6'4",
so 6'4", 220.
Right.
He's thick.
He's Peyton size, but he's got a little more speed.
Well, let me say this real quick. I love all the possibilities with this offense. Having this conversation was fun, but let's not get away from our running back room. Let's see what we got back there. We got a full stable.
Finally got a bruiser back.
Last year we were looking for bodies, looking everywhere for bodies. This year we have a full stable. We got Trey Wisner, 1,000-yard back coming back. We got C.J. Baxter, who was this team's starter 2 years ago. 5-star player, #1 back in the country. We got Christian Clark, who was tearing it up in training camp before he got hurt. We got Jared Gibson, the bruiser on the goal line. We are so deep in that running back room that I need to see what we have. And I need to see what we have week 1.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Look, Sark's passing attack is magical. He can scheme guys open. I agree with that. But let's not get away from this running back room. Let me see what we got first. Okay.
I'm
I don't
with
think
you.
he will. I think you're right. I think he's gonna.
That's the
he's
most
gonna-
important.
I think
Yeah.
you're right. I guess all I'm saying to that is, as a back, when the holes
I'm with
are
you.
more
Yeah.
open because
Yeah.
y'all scared of the guy standing next to me, this makes this whole
makes
thing
it
a little
Yeah,
bit easier.
I'm with you. It's
And
going to
it-
make the
and
gaps
this-
wider.
This goes
Yeah.
back to Rod's stat that we were talking about while we were on the road show about what Texas's run game looked like against the best competition, right? And that was Georgia last year 2 times, and that was Ohio State in the semifinals. In Texas, what was that stat again, Rod? Do you remember?
Well, no, I don't.
Average.
I know they average like 1 yard.
Average, right. It averaged less than 2 yards.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
game.
I think it was
1 yard
30
per
yards a game.
Yeah,
Averaged
so
out.
total
Yeah.
and average wise, it was unacceptable.
Yeah.
If you expect to win championships, right? And so
Yes.
this is the perfect opportunity to prove, hey, we self-scouted, we made the adjustments that needed to be made. Now we're going to physically go impose our will and see what those adjustments look like firsthand against the defending national champion. So it's a tall task, don't get me wrong. Ohio State probably thinking from devil's advocate perspective, hey, they couldn't run the ball against us last year. What makes you think they're going to run the ball again this year? Right? And so that's going to be up to Arch Manning and those 4 running backs and the creativity that Sark has to be able to prove Texas can be more than just a one-dimensional team. And you got to remember, they still score points, only averaging less than 30 yards a game. That's hard to do as an offense, to put up points whenever you can't move the ball
One-dimensional.
one-dimensionally. That goes to show you how good Sark is. But if you have that at your disposal where you can actually tote the peel and keep it in 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, man, that's where we're talking about that offense gets to
I know we put a lot of pressure on Arch because he's at quarterback position. He's got all this potential or whatnot, but this won't be a perfect game for him. Arch is the kind of guy that takes risks.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to live with that. We're gonna live with that. But it's more about the mistakes won't hurt us or make us fail. It's the response after he makes a mistake. So that's going to be key. Like, hey, you threw an interception. Hopefully no interceptions. But if it happens or if it's a bad throw or something like that, hey, how do you bounce back? That's kind of what I want to see, Arch. I mean, I feel like he's going to respond well because he's very grounded and Sark keeps him very humble, hungry, but and dialed in. But that's going to be key. This is going to be a hostile environment, but we travel well. I mean,
Have you guys ever? I know you've not played there, but have you guys been to a game there? Anybody?
I've never been.
I've been out there. I've never been to a game.
I went to the 04 game.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have passionate fans. They have passionate fans. And after the game, it was pretty intense.
I heard.
Like,
Yeah.
people just throwing. I saw a guy literally pick up a garbage can, just dump it over. Unprovoked. A guy from Texas who had a Texas shirt on, just straight over. I mean, so
Wait,
they were a little
the Texas
upset.
guy got it dumped on him?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The
Did he
reason
hit him?
I 100%, I
Did he fight
100%
back?
believe that because I was telling you guys kind of off camera about like the NIL deal we had done in the past for Denzel Burke and Quinshon Judkins. So I was spending some time out in Columbus. They were explaining to me how the success of the football team is a direct indicator to the crime in the city.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm so serious.
I mean,
But
I'm
hold up.
so serious.
More winning, more crime,
winning,
or-
less crime.
More winning,
Yeah.
less crime.
More winning, less crime.
Right. That could go one or
Like,
two.
yeah, which one?
They celebrating hard.
Yeah. Whenever they lose a couple, how like the crime rate goes up.
Okay.
Like, I'm like, oh, this is pretty wild. But when you spend time out there, it's not like it's not like Austin. It's not like they don't have all of the things that we have out there.
but
You
it
know,
is.
we
I will
talking about
give it.
Columbus?
It
I'm
is.
talking about Columbus.
Columbus
Columbus
is nice.
is a cool.
That-
It is a cool spot.
No. Hear
It's
me out.
a pop culture mecca is what he's saying.
It's the coolest spot in Ohio.
Hear me out.
Say what you will.
It's a cool spot in Ohio.
That man
like
said
saying,
it's
she's
the
a
cool
9
spot.
and Dearborn to Michigan.
It's the
Like, yeah, of
cool
course
cool
it is.
spot in Ohio is on wild.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
Best swimmer in the kiddie
Put that
pool.
on a shirt. But the point that I'm making is like Austin has more than Texas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like that, it is like to Higgs, man. It is Ohio State, right? And it's beautiful. It's dope. I admire it. It's amazing.
They always put a certain word before Ohio State. We won't do that.
No. It's Ohio State.
Ohio State.
It's Ohio State,
Yeah.
and it's super dope. But I know the fans are gonna be rowdy. The fans are gonna be into it. Nothing that we haven't faced before. They're the same way down in Tuscaloosa. They were the same way at the Big House. You know what I mean? If you want fans to sit down and just enjoy the game quietly like they're in the library, don't give them much to cheer about.
Well, and that goes back to the point, too, of it being an early game compared to a night game like it was in 04. I think, you know, we get in there pretty quick and start business, and you don't have to worry about sitting around all day, and you guys can speak to, you know, sitting in a hotel, you know, all afternoon, wait to get down to the arena.
Trying not
Yeah.
to
They
give
can't get
emotional
that wrong.
energy to the games. Like if you sitting, whenever you got those night games, y'all know. Fozzie was my roommate.
hate it,
You
bro.
know that. Like
know, it
Major
sucks.
used to text us in a group chat and be like, if it's a good game on, he would text us and remind us, don't spend emotional energy on that.
Watching that.
takes
Yeah.
Because,
Turn it
like,
off.
I mean, don't get it.
Yeah.
Y'all know, man, like, these kids, they love ball.
Yeah.
They got friends that are playing all over the country. You got relatives that are playing at other universities. So if you watching Texas Tech and Baylor and two of your cousins play on each, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're into it,
You
yeah.
can't,
Emotionally,
Right.
you
You're
can't,
engaged.
you can't spend that emotional energy right there.
real.
So to his point, I love that we are like, we land, we go through walkthroughs, we go see the stadium, we go through our routine, we go through the position meetings, the team meetings, we go through checks, we go sleep, we wake up in the morning. It's business.
There you
We
go.
get on the bus, we go to the stadium.
Home field advantage should not be an issue this week.
Hmm.
It should not be.
Just so I feel like I'm part of the team and I'm piling on, they had lights when you guys played?
Yes, Higgs. Let's go. Put that on the shirt, Higgs.
Yikes! All right.
Higgs, that's how we gonna do this?
Let's go. Anyway,
Is that how we doing this?
Part of the
Higgs?
family now. I'm family, right?
Like,
He's eating on it now. Now he's eating on it.
oh, like Kevin
I come to
Hart
the
always
cookouts?
say,
Can I
is
come
that
to the
how we
cookouts?
doing? Is that how we doing?
All right, we're going to Rod. Advantage Texas offense or Ohio State defense?
Texas offense, I feel like, has the ultimate advantage because you combine Sark with the arch factor as well. And I think Ryan Wingo and DeAndre Moore, very capable guys who can give him some really trustworthy targets. There is a slight advantage in terms of the uncertainty with Matt Patricia as the play caller. Sark admitted, I have no idea what the hell Matt Patricia's going
that's
to do.
fair.
He doesn't. He has no idea. And even Mac Brown joked with Sark that you might have to throw your game plan out in the first quarter. He was like, yeah, I might have to. And he might. He did the same thing with Wink Martindale. Basically, where you're studying NFL film from them the previous years where they were a play caller or a head coach to try to figure out, hey, what's the basic core principles they believe in at least, so I can attack that rather than attack something specifically. How long will that advantage last for Matt Patricia? Because it is an advantage. It is. Sark Sark's offense is out there. We all know Sark's offense.
Right.
You know the plays. You know what
stop
he
it,
likes. Yeah. It'll look a little different with Arch, but you know what Sark is trying to do, right?
Right.
And you better stop the outside zone. You better stop the outside
stop
zone.
split zone.
Right?
Split zone has to-
So I think that's a little bit of an advantage, but I think ultimately I'm going to give it to Sark because in these games, and Jay Hill started out with it, Sark, man, it seems like he's been prepping for months. And he's going to have something. He goes deep in his bag for these games. He's going to have something ready for this matchup, I guarantee you.
Rob,
I
add
feel
to
less
that.
confident at home than
But
I do
Rob,
on the
yeah,
road.
you do
Sorry.
be saying. But Rob, add to that though. What was the last game that Sark coached in?
Texas, Ohio State.
You think he ain't had this game circled since that night?
Yeah.
Since we heard old Tap screaming in the tunnel?
That's true.
You think Sark ain't had that circled and he been a madman since that day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we got to get to predictions in a second, but also one thing we left out, we didn't cover the tight ends. A very interesting stories at the tight end position because Max Clare, who's the Purdue transfer, Texas went after that kid hard, and he ended up at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But then we ended up with Jack Endries, who might even be better. So I think that's going to be another piece that I think is going to be
They
fascinating.
can go
to see.
12 personnel and decide to run at Texas defensive ends.
Yeah.
If they're so great in pass rush, why not run it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That I would want. I mean, that's old Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you want to get all these athletes out here, you want to get fast, you want to
ain't
start
gonna
running
give 'em a
around.
chance.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna do what a defense hates. We're gonna balance this thing up.
Add an extra gap for
Put
you.
two tight
We're
ends.
gonna add an extra gap. All of a sudden, somebody like Oak ain't in a 2-point coming off the
I
edge.
got a tight end head up on
He got somebody head up. Oak got put his hand in the dirt,
And get to work.
and everybody got to get to work.
And C.J. Donaldson is a low. I will say that. Covering him while he was at West Virginia, seeing him.
Yeah.
He ain't Quinshon Judkins now. Don't get it twisted, but he's a big
He's a
boy
good player,
that
yeah.
has good feet too. So physicality won't be an issue with him. So it could be a fun game for some linebackers and defenders.
He and
Well,
James People.
Yeah,
gonna
James
have the
People
right-
was a San Antonio kid. He was,
Okay.
I think he went to Memorial in San Antonio. Yeah.
I honestly, now
He's
that
got
I'm
a little
thinking it
chip.
through, y'all, that if I'm them, that's what I would do. I got my transfer in from Purdue. I got him here. I got the best player in the country outside wide. I'm gonna balance this thing up, trust my big back, and try to throw play action off of him and get one-on-ones where I can. And even if they not one-on-ones, I'll take some
I'll take some.
one-on-twos.
Yep.
Like that,
Jeremiah Smith.
that's the truth.
Yep.
Like if I were attacking Texas, I would not make this a game of athletes.
There will be somebody in the secondary who is unproven, right? It's just going to be at that nickel spot or at that corner spot opposite Malik Muhammad. Ohio State will have something, an adjustment in their game plan. Like, hey, you know what? We're going after whoever this unproven commodity may be.
Yeah.
Now, they could decide to put 3 safeties out there with, Derek Williams, Jelani McDowney, and Tappy. That's great. 3 safeties covering the best wide receiving core in college football. I'll also take that from Ohio State. That's scary too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're Ohio State, they will have a game plan to try to hunt a matchup in that secondary.
I agree.
There will be one that's favorable for them.
To that point,
Cornell
and this is why I love football, and I think it's the greatest game ever. Is because if I see that, that's when I start to heat up the quarterback.
You better.
That's when I start to sit. That's when I tell my dogs, all right, it's time to
Speed 'em
go.
up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to go.
Yep.
He listen. If he want to hunt him, we gonna hunt him.
Yeah.
right. We just gonna change
Like it's time to go. We gonna see how he like being touched a little. How he like being hit a little bit.
But none of that is possible if we don't start fast on first down
Stop
and
the
stop
run.
the run.
Stop the run.
That's where it starts.
All right, now before we get to predictions, we got the most important part of the show: the special teams. It's a new day for me, having
You've been emotional all
Birds
day.
out at Miami.
You've been
It's,
emotional all day. Are you okay?
South Beach Bird is gone, so it
Have you
is
called
what it
him?
is. But I've not. We might have exchanged some texts. It's whatever. It's whatever. Don't worry about it. Actually, very excited about our special teams situation this year. I feel like special teams went from being a little bit of an iffy to a liability by the end of the year. I'm very excited about this year, and I hope that doesn't jinx them. But having Bo Meester coming in from Utah, one of the best punters in the nation, averaged 44.7 yards a punt.
That can flip.
Kid can boom it, right?
Yeah.
But interesting matchup. Got another Aussie on the other side. Got Joe McGuire, who averaged 42 yards a punt the year before. I'm giving it to Bo Meester. He's one of the best punters in the nation. And then we've got Mason Shipley coming in from Texas State. Dude, the stats on this kid are crazy. Like his freshman year he only kicked once, but he's 1 for 1. The sophomore year, 15 of 15 on field goals, and then last year, 15 of 19 was the roughest year for him was 15 of 19. By the way, his long 60. Last year he was 2 for 3 from 50 plus. Like the kid's got a leg. He'll be going up against Jaden Fielding, who you remember Jaden was he missed a couple big ones in the Michigan game. So he was 13 of 17 last year. Struggled with some injuries and etc. But I like us in the special teams. I think the real interesting part that I don't think any of us know yet are the return games, and I'm very interested to see that. Ohio State's got a ton of athletes, but so do we, and I think that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. But now's the fun part. We got to get to predictions. Right?
Hold on. Can
I'm making Hills go last because he always claims everyone copies him.
Wait.
Yeah.
I just one thing. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I feel like we have to address this, and we have it. Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just now, as I'm listening to Nick, I'm thinking, and I'm like,
roll opposite.
They're the two best players in college football.
Caleb Downs is. I haven't seen a guy erase everyone's mistakes and make plays on the ball and be active, aggressive in the run game that way since maybe Earl Thomas.
He's just like Earl.
Do we think he sees special teams like his return?
I don't know if I don't
He
even.
is a dynamic
I don't know
player,
if you
but
got to feature him like
That's what I
that.
said.
I don't even know if
They
you
got
got to
enough
feature him
athletes.
like that.
Yeah.
They got enough athletes there.
They don't
I'm
understand.
saying, I believe that Caleb Downs is special enough to alter an entire game plan from an offensive
Sark has
perspective.
seen him enough. He's seen him 3 times.
Yeah,
Seen him
right.
at Bama, seen him last year.
So like,
They still
I,
have some players in that secondary. Even they got a big physical corner as well that I would have to
Igbenoghy?
imagine. That I would have to
Yeah,
imagine
he's
is gonna line up across Wingo, and I want to see what Wingo does in
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah, if there's a draft, the Ohio State gets they're getting the first 2 picks. It's going to be Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
like, and then everything else starts after that.
I want us to like just keep that earmark. Like, let's see what Caleb Downs does.
What's up to Matt Patricia? Because Matt Patricia has to move him around.
Yeah.
He's got to be a nickel.
he
He's got to
will.
be a slot. He's got to be
He probably will be
strong
all
free.
over.
Yeah.
That's the key. And if I'm Texas, I need to identify him before the snap. Every
Yeah,
snap.
absolutely.
There he is.
All right.
Okay. All right. I'm ready
Now
I'm ready for predictions. All
That
right.
was
We're
good.
going
That was
this
good,
way
Jalen.
so that
All right.
Hills can't accuse
Good
anyone
job,
of copying.
Here you go.
Go.
Man, y'all putting.
Oh wait,
me
here I'll
first.
give. Actually, I owe you the line. The line on this is
Ohio State minus 2.5.
and
It's been dropping.
1.5.
Yeah,
It's 1.5. It was 1.5 last night when I
Was it really? And the over under last we checked was 47 and a half.
That's where I was
Okay.
at.
Interesting. Man, this these teams are so evenly matched, man. Like I'm literally taking a shot in the dark. I'm looking forward to being a fan on Saturday. I'm looking forward to seeing what we roll out there Saturday. In terms of my prediction, when 2 teams are evenly matched, I tend to go towards the best players on the field. And like Nick mentioned, Ohio State's going to have the best player on offense and the best player on defense. Because of that alone, I think Ohio State is going to win this football game. I think it's going to be as close as it could possibly be. I think a 1-score game.
So what's your
Or one point game.
But if they have the first 2 players, I think the next picks in that draft are almost all Texas guys.
I agree. I'm it's a split to me. It's as even as it can be, and I'm just giving you my reasoning. They're going to have the best 2 players on the field, so I got Ohio State. I'm going 28-27.
Nick,
think this is the
Nick,
first time-
when you edit, I want you to just use the isolation camera of Jeremy for the last 10 seconds.
I think this is
listening.
the first time in the history of the show
Someone's picked
that
against.
someone has picked not Texas.
No,
I do. Has it?
They picked Georgia. They picked
Did we? No, you're right. We did. I lied. All right. What's your score?
Don't all got burnt orange
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah, I mean,
all
I
the
got,
time.
I
He
got,
said
I
28-27.
got 28-27 Ohio State. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game
Yeah.
on Saturday.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be you said everything. Oh God. All right. Let's say
Hills is dying over here.
The best part of watching from the sidelines is every week you guys act like this question is crazy.
I know.
And it comes
Most
every
demanding
week.
question.
Yeah.
It is because it sucks.
Psyche.
Yeah, after it gets going, we'll get closer with the predictions. But first game of the year, I got Texas winning. I'm very confident in what we can do defensively, and I'm all in with Arch and Sark. So I say 24-19 actually.
Okay.
Yep, 24-19.
Rod, what do you got?
That's a good one. I'll go 27. Oh, how about this? 27-23, Texas.
All right. Higgs, jump in.
I'm going big. Texas 28-17.
Okay, that's big.
I think we established the run. I think Arch, they open it up, and I think this is like Michigan last year. I think we just take the crowd out, and yes, they're a talented team, and yes, they're the defending champs, but they've lost a lot. But like Texas, they reload, they go to the portal, they get stuff, but I think that defense is just so nasty.
I got Texas 27-17. I like us running the ball this game. I like our defense being solid. Fozzie, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on record saying I believe Texas has a loss on their schedule. I think it does come in week 1 this Saturday. I got 26-24 Ohio State.
So we don't cover. At least we covered in my prediction.
And now everyone, for the moment you've been waiting for,
Move to 1.5.
Jeremy Hills, open the floodgate.
No, I've listened to everybody, and you guys, I respect y'all tremendously. Your playing careers were each very special in a part. I love watching it and being a part of some of them. Fozzie, we all got a chance to watch you. You know what I mean? As we were growing up. When I look specifically at this game and the makeup of these teams and what's going into it, to Oak's point, like you look for like who has the best players, right? And right now I say Jeremiah Smith and you say Caleb Downs, but that's because we've seen them. I think the best player is Arch Manning. I think when everything is out and college careers are done, I think the best player is Arch Manning. What we've seen so far is rightfully so. We're giving it, we're deferring to those two. But when their careers in college are done and they are playing on Sundays and we look backwards, the best player is on our team. And then I'm looking at the months of preparation going into it, and I look at what both teams have coming back. And so for sound reasoning, I think that this one is, I think Texas not only covers, I think they win, and I think they win comfortably. I think this is it's going to resemble more of the Alabama 2 years ago game than it does anything else, right? And I think Texas ends the game with the ball, could have scored more, and it's a solid 31-20.
All right. All right. Well, guys, I'm glad we're back. This is fun. We will be here for the post game after the Ohio State game. Give us about 10 minutes, and we'll be live. So check that out. And yeah, let's go. Hook 'em.
Oak's a traitor.